and welcome back.
The parts we have been waiting for have finally arrived. So now I would like to show you the results of my experiments with persistence of vision. As you know, we have built this. I've coloured it in with a marker pen. I've also made a black background for this. But first, I'd like to explain to you what persistence of vision is. Animation, such as the one in this clip, is a series of still images that our brain interprets as movements.
That's just extraordinary.
The clock that I made with my dad has only one line of LEDs, but it produces the image of a clock face, which is much larger than the strip of LEDs itself. It does this by turning each LED on and off at just the right moment, for just the right length of time, to convince our brains into believing that it's a big circular analog clock face and not just a strip of 17 LEDs. This is my persistence of vision analog clock. Ta-da! This is my circuit board, and when you're turning it on, you just plug this in. It should do a self-test, checking all the LEDs. This is the sensor, it's very fragile, and when it passes over the magnets, it should flash the LEDs. And then when you put it on the black thing, the motor, I shouldn't say black thing, it should work if you just spin it. And then turning it on, just pressing that button and it should line itself up. If not, just twiddle with this thing a bit, which is my speed controller, and as you see, it should line itself up. This is the speed controller that you saw me making last week. It's used to set the speed of the motor to the right speed. If it's running too slowly, it can make the clock in too small of a space. But if it's running too fast, it can overlap the clock. So you can see that I'm going to leave a little gap at the bottom because it's so difficult to get it bang on. And that's why I built the speed controller. Let me just show you this. It's very cool. Hope you've enjoyed my videos. That's all for now.
That's all, folks.